Let's talk about food. Hi everybody and welcome back to How to Expat. My name is Tasha and I'm an expat here in Colombia. So I've been getting a lot of requests from you guys lately about food here in Colombia, how the food tastes and what kind of foods, like typical foods there are. And obviously I can't cover it all because it also depends on the area you're living in. So Medellín has different typical foods than Bogota does, but I'm gonna kind of talk about more typical foods. Then I will talk about snacks and some sweets. And if you have any other requests for another video about more foods like vegetable, fruits, stuff like that, just let me know. And by the way, I'm working on an ebook lately just to kind of summarize how to move to Medellín and just about Medellín in particular, things you want to know. And so yeah, I just thought since you're the target audience for this ebook, I wanted to know if there's a question you want to be answered in the ebook, for example, and a question that you always had and we could never answer, something like that. So I'm just curious what those questions are and I'll make sure to answer those in the ebook too. So yeah, let's begin with the videos. So I wanted to start with salty foods and the most typical foods. And here in Medellín, it is clearly Bandeja Paisa. So Bandeja Paisa consists of chorizo, which is a sausage. It consists of morcilla, which is also a sausage, but a blood sausage. But we have the same thing in Switzerland, for example. But here in Colombia, it doesn't have, it has rice in it, which we don't have in Switzerland. And I actually prefer the one from Colombia, to be honest. The herbs and stuff, it just tastes different and I like it. And chicharrón is fried belly, fried pork belly. And avocado, which you almost get with almost every meal. Obviously rice, beans, and what you also typically get is a small salad. It comes also with a fried plantain, which is called maduro, and an egg, usually a fried egg on top of, they put it usually on top of the rice. So that's what Bandeja Paisa consists of, and it's the most typical thing here in Medellín, because barbecue meat in general is something I don't know, the most typical thing to eat here, kinda. Because they just eat a lot of meat here. So for the vegans and vegetarians, it is possible to be vegan or vegetarian here, but you most probably have to cook yourself. But if you're in around Laureles, especially El Poblado, they have a lot of options, a lot of restaurants that have vegan and vegetarian options. But there you have to know, you obviously you pay more for that, because that's not the typical Colombian food. So it won't be $2.50 a normal lunch menu, but maybe $10 or maybe a little bit more, depending on how much you eat also, right? So yeah, just a side note. So let's continue. One of my favorite foods here is Sankocho. Sankocho is a soup. Usually it's usually you eat that after a big holiday or something, when people are getting drunk. So the next day they make Sankocho, and it consists of plantain, potatoes, usually it's beef or chicken, sometimes even both, and pork, it depends, but usually I eat it with beef. And also it has yuca, which is, how do you call it in English? I'm gonna write it down here because I'm not sure, because it depends on the country, the names depend. So yeah, yuca, and a broth. So I really love that. And also you get the big soup bowl, and on the side you get the seco, which is translated the dry kinda. So the seco is rice, avocado, a little salad, and maybe some fried plantain or an egg, depending on the restaurant you're eating in. So that's sancocho for you, and I pretty much love it. And oh, it also has like coriander. You say coriander, right? No, you say cilantro? Coriander or cilantro, so one of those you call it. And yeah, you have that in there too. You have, oh, by the way, you have a lot of foods here, like soups especially, that can like have coriander or cilantro, however you want to call it, on it and in it. So if you don't like it, just make sure to maybe ask. I personally hated it when I left Switzerland. Then we went to Ecuador, and it literally had coriander in pretty much every single meal we had. So at the end, I just got used to it. So maybe that's what will happen to you too. So yeah, that's sancocho. Then ayako is another soup. And I heard that it's it's a typical food in Bogota especially, and the best ones are in Bogota. That's what I heard. And it's also a soup, and it consists of like a broth, then kind of shredded chicken, and also potatoes, and sometimes usually you get like cream with it. So I actually prefer to add the cream. It makes it just a flavor. It's really tasty though. You really have to try that. And so I don't want to go too much into detail, otherwise that video will take forever. But yeah, just to give you more or less an idea. And so what else is typical? Like I said, they Colombians eat a lot of meat, especially here in Medellín. And picada, fritanga, for example, is the same thing, just a different name, is also one of those. So usually you share it, and it consists just of a lot of meat, chicharrón, chorizo, morcilla, all I mentioned, which is in the Bandeja Paisa too, and some potatoes. So it's a lot of meat, and it's just like a plate with the meat and the potatoes and all of that, and some sauces on the side, and usually you share that with your family. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So the thing is, like I mentioned in previous videos, most Colombians don't eat too much for dinner, so this is like a typical dinner for some, and so they share it, so it's not too much food. But yeah, that's one of many typical foods here. So what else do we have? I said sancocho, and yeah, ayako, bandeja paisa, lechona. Lechona is, to be honest, I've never tried it. I just seen it. To be honest, I don't know why I haven't tried it yet. So lechona is actually like a roasted pig, like an entire roasted pig, and it's stuffed with rice, vegetables, some herbs. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is, and obviously like pork meat. So yeah, it's really like you have like a nice crust on the outside, and usually they add that to the meal. So you have like the crust of the roasted chicken, and like the rice and the pork and vegetables and everything. So that's lechona. And like I said, I've never tried it. Let me know if you like it in the comments down below, please. But I'll make sure to try it soon. And another thing you've surely heard is tamales. They have that in Mexico too, and in a lot of other Latin countries. And it's just like a corn-based dough, and inside depends, I think, on the country. Here they usually add pork or beef and some vegetables. And yeah, so they how do you say, like fold it in a banana leaf, and then they cook it. And that's pretty much tamales, and this you eat with usually like sauces on the side, stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty tasty though. I think that's pretty much it for the salty part. So I overdid it. I love talking about food, and I guess the video took way too long. It took over like 25 minutes or something, so that's way too long. So I'm gonna make a two-parter out of that video, and I'm gonna post, like, this is the first part, and I'm gonna post the second part soon. So yeah, stay tuned.